What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. I hope you guys had a great day today. Real quick, RNAZ. So, for the guys in the underdog room, you guys killed it this morning, pre-market. And I just want to touch up on something that Ranger. All right, we just studied this weekend. This was amazing. All right, guys, look at this candle right here. If you've studied the supply, demand, and volume profile and things like that, so much volume came into this 843 candle. And then it's nice to see a lot of volume into this and to see the reaction afterwards. Okay, this thing did not sell off. Continue to hold and soak. Uh, got my kids banging right now on the door, but gotta just keep doing it. Uh, what happens after that is this thing takes off with igniting volume consistently after that. And if you see this daily, right, where this thing was pulling back and setting up, okay, on this 1 minute setup right here. Like, guys, look at the daily. So, all right, if this is not going to work, right, we are going to see it sell off, dump, and make new lows. All right, the best thing about RNAZ was this too. Okay, pull this up. Okay, if you guys pull this up, dilution tracker, guys. If you don't have it, pay for it. It's 500 bucks for the year or something. It's worth it. Okay, you know, boom. Okay, just do a little DD, and right, and this is changing. These numbers are going to change, but my point is that there's an S1 offering, right, in place. Now, whether we don't know if it's going to dump now or later or tomorrow or whatnot, but it's there. Okay, this is a beaten down daily. Why would you want to offer something like right here when it's at low a day, and then for it to just sell off? Doesn't make sense. Now, does it happen still? Yes. There's just so many situations. It's situational, right? We just get better as a group, as a team, and realize that and get better. Okay, but so my point is right. This is coming in really big volume right here, right? 215K, pulls back more. It's not dumping off the daily, and then once the tape starts to recatch and we break through, to me, this 81 break was all I needed to see, and then it takes off, pulls back, doesn't retest pivot to the T, but pulls back 1 minute 8. It's very strong throughout this whole thing, and then it does all these games. So pre-market though, if you get a strong tape, stick to it, because in pre-market we might be able to knock out some levels, right? 86 cents. All right, breaks over that. Cool. We wanted to see that, right? 86 cents after we see this 81 volume. Buyers step back in. Tape starts to flip. We have a really strong bid. Algo's on the tape too. Everything's starting to make sense, right? Coming in, coming in. All right, after 86 cents, to me, I thought we have a little bit of thin space here. I'm not saying you can't take into consideration what these are, but 116 is the next spot. So, or 116 right here. This thing goes, pulls back, tests it, consolidates, breaks over it, pulls back underneath it still. Before it opens, we crank, and then we open up right here. Okay. To me, this is great because we're still above structure, right? Anything we're still above, and the tape's making sense. Now, guys, I did not trade any of this stuff. All right. Just wanted to go over for the underdogs real quick because they killed it. All right, that was for them. Real quick. All right. I did trade, however. This was the main one for me today. All right. If you guys have been tracking and understanding that this is what I like to see. I like to see something, right, that's selling off, breaking down, and then we have something which opens up with a small gap, right? And then I want to see some controlled walk down or weak selling for a weak open. All right. Now, if someone's trading this, they might try to just immediately, well, this pivot broke already. This opens up. It's right here. It's not holding. They might just do something like this, and that's okay. So 117 doesn't hold, they write it off. I don't do that anymore. And sometimes I miss on the ones that do work and the ones that don't, right? Wrong one, didn't work, but I'm sticking to the script. I want to see this play out. And there's a bunch of little signals I had on here. particularly that I really like, especially this 1 minute candle again, right? We went over this. To me, this is a lot of volume on this one. Okay, but look at the volume afterhand, and even when this thing tried to break down and come in, it was still, to me, it's not super crazy. But even on this dump, compared to our 937 candle, it still wasn't significant, anything crazy. Okay. Now, once this came in, we were not testing this pivot. All right. That's exactly what I want to see still. We're not breaking down and breaking down the complete structure and now getting heavy. The tape never got heavy on this one. So this consolidated really nice. All right. And then it started to take off. So to me, what was really important on this one was there was a doji candle over here. Okay. Right. And I wanted just to see, especially this right here, 120. If you guys were watching the tape on this, all right, there's hidden sellers, a nice controlled walk down. Okay, on that one. So I wanted to see 120 break. All right, there's a tape and fluctuation. What I mean by that again too is, and fluctuation is when this tries to go, when buyers try to step in, it pops up, does this rubber band thing, dumps into 112, and does this, back and forth thing. Okay, so I like to see that now. All right, cool. All right, but we break down from it. So 112 right away. After this breakdown, I wanted to see this reclaim. Finally starts to reclaim with some decent volume. Now, as we crank and pull back, 120 was super important for me. All right. Once we start doing that, I think what was so important was this 1024 candle. All right. The reason why I say this is important is because it's a stuff candle. What happens, right? Reaction. We talked about a lot of things with reaction now. It's what happens. All right, yeah, it got stuff. What happens after that happens? Does it stall? Does it consolidate? Do we have more bidders? Level 2 pop up. Is the ash showing, or is people buying? Or is people buying? Is the algo working? Is it chipping and breaking out, and then a new bid is coming in to support the next move? Are those things happening or not? So I think this is why this 1024 candle is so important. All right, and now as this whole move starts, guys, to me, it's because I am trading different, right? Everyone's going to do things differently, but to me, this 145 has to be like main target after reads like this. All right, yeah, we want to test orb, right? But 145, after 145 comes, we have this small little gap. So to me, 137s is next, right? But look what they do with this particular pattern is they paint it pre-market. We want to see that. A lot of it's sideways action though. All right. So this paint. This 145 is the high. This is another small little gap fill on the daily. So it's like, wow, they're doing this where it makes sense. Okay, let's see it fail here. Oh, it looks weak. Volume starts to crank up and really shoves it, holds it. All right, and then even try to swipe. I thought this was great on this one too. This particular candle right here. I know if you're playing this without any ads, and I don't know how, depending on how you trade, it stops a lot of people out right here, right? If you don't get in early and you see this and you get stopped out, but it was nice. A lot of people re-entered on this candle, which I thought was really good. Good read, Kaz and a couple other guys who re-entered on that one. That was great, right? Oh, why is it great? Okay. Well, let's just zoom out real quick, guys. I mean, they painted it so well and they shoved it down right into structure, support, right? So just pay attention, right? If you keep seeing these things and they're working oppositely, well, maybe they're working oppositely because this pullback happens and the sharp pullback happens and starts to jump and we're underneath it, right? So I thought this one was great because they shoved it right here and swiped everybody out real quick and attempted for one more, and then backside really is entered, right? But okay, yeah. BPTS, that was a great one. Great trade, guys. I thought VACC was another great one. Now, I traded this one in light size. BPTS, I traded a little bit aggressive. Really quick. The reason why I was a little skeptical about this is because if you guys are tracking everything, like is running right into the 200s, and a lot of times small caps, they run into these 200s, and it's like maybe it's the end of the tunnel for them for the day, right? They might reject, but the thing is that they runs into this, consolidates, and it doesn't reject, and the tape starts to crank up again. Bidders show up, volume starts to come, and to me, there's really not a lot of sweet spots on this daily, right? And there's nothing intraday or after hours or pre-market, right? So to me, this is daily, or if you want, switch to the 4 hour, do what you have to do, the hourly. But to me, on this daily, there was just too much sideways consolidation, sideways consolidation. So once we cleared them, to me, this is my opinion, I think there was just a lot of open space. So I know everyone's getting excited when this thing started to open up. Uh, but yeah, it's just like, I think to me, just like we're entering into this after 270s, there's really not much other than the breakdown before. So it's like we start entering in this empty space. So maybe put that out and keep track of that. Notice some empty space and just see what it does and see if it works, and maybe when situations come up, you can implement that, right? I see empty space. How is the level two? How are the bidders? How is the ask? Things like that, okay? So I thought that was great. After that, there's some consolidation. So 310 to 333s is some stuff we have to get over, and it's just we just keep going over layer after layer, and then as long as the tape, there's bidders and things kind of make sense, stick with it as long as you can. Uh, in that case, but yeah, but all right, guys. Just a quick breakdown. Um, Phase, tried it real quick. I only traded 4 names: Phase, BPTS, really quick RNAZ, but I stopped because it was just like wasn't me. I tried this one, Phase. Really good accumulation pattern in here. To me, I thought it tried to hold. All right, and where it was on the daily, real quick. So if you see similarities, I thought maybe, right, real quick, this guy was like asking me about a few things and your patterns, stuff like this. So this is what I look for, right? I wanted to see this. This happens a lot on names. So when this started to happen, when this started to hold right here, I wanted to see that hold. And, the 17s. And to me, I had a spot right here. Biggest volume right here was at the bottom of this 1 minute doji right here. So I put my line, so I wanted to really see this 23.22 reclaim. A lot of volume came right here, no moving back to the upside. Instead, it flipped indecision and went to the downside. Tested it once, didn't work. Over here again, supply demand, volume. There's so many ways you can look at it. Okay, but so I wanted to see that happen. It didn't happen, and I bailed. But saw the soaks, attempted it. There's a really quick thing. If any of you guys did trade this on this, if you're watching level 2, right? The soak happens, it goes, allows it to crank. Buyers try to come in. This particular pullback that happened right here, right? When I saw this happen, there was no ask. So nice walk down, right? They let it. It looked like it was a good low volume pullback. Is what I'm trying to get at. After the low volume pullback there was some bidders, but what happens is once it started to curl and move up, big walls in the ask showed up. So they didn't show up. They showed up once right here. They stopped as it started to pull back, and they reappeared as it started to go. And it was heavy. This was not going. I mean, you see where we're at, right? Okay. I thought that was great too. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out. And oh wait. Before I leave, the person who called me out on BOOKMAP, I got it. All right, it's right here. Okay, I'm going to deep dive into this. I've already did it this weekend. There's a bunch of videos I found. Thank you for doing that. They all talk about level 2 on this, so I'm going to see how I can implement it more into my trading. So I appreciate it. If you do know anything, hey man, throw me a comment. Point me in the right direction. And if not, that's okay. Thanks, bud. All right, much love. Peace out.